Welcome to the second stop of our museum's Tom Perry case. My name is Anne. I'm a volunteer at the museum and am proud to serve on our board of directors. I was also a TWA employee for 34 years. I'll be telling you more about TWA's early history and what really were major changes for the airline and commercial aviation. On March 31, 1931, a terrible accident occurred involving one of TWA's Fokker F-10A aircraft. All 8 people on board were killed, including Knute Rockne, Notre Dame University's legendary football coach. Moisture had leaked through a small opening in the laminated wooden wing of the airplane, causing wood rot in one of the wing spars. It was clear that stronger and more durable metal airplanes were needed to fly more passengers, cargo, and mail faster and with more range. In 1932, Jack Fry, then TWA's vice president in charge of operations, sent a letter to a number of aircraft manufacturers, including Donald Douglas.
Kansas City, August 2, 1932. Dear Mr. Douglas, Transcontinental and Western Air is interested in purchasing 10 or more tri-motored transport planes. I am attaching our general performance specifications covering this equipment and would appreciate your advising whether your company is interested in this manufacturing job. Very truly yours, Jack Fry, Vice President in charge of operations, Transcontinental and Western Air.
Douglas responded to Fry with a proposal for a twin-engine aircraft, the DC-1. The offer was accepted. While the DC-1 saw limited production and usage, it led to the development of the DC-2, first flown by TWA in 1934, and then the DC-3 beginning in 1937. Seen at the front of the case, the DC-3 was capable of carrying up to 24 passengers at 180 miles per hour. A DC-3 could fly coast to coast in 17 hours with 3 en route stops. It revolutionized the commercial airline industry. In a period of almost 20 years, more than 100 DC-3s graced TWA's fleet. It was versatile, comfortable, and strong. During World War II, Douglas built military versions of the DC-3, designated as the C-47 and the C-53. They performed magnificently. Several DC-3s in TWA's post-war fleet were converted military aircraft. As the 1940s unfolded, technology advanced. Larger and more powerful aircraft joined TWA. At the upper right sits a model of the incomparable Boeing 307 Stratoliner. First described by TWA President Jack Fry as an elongated teardrop, it was one of the most significant aircraft in the history of TWA. Introduced in 1940, it changed the complexion of passenger air travel, becoming the first pressurized commercial airliner. Able to cruise at up to 20,000 feet, more often than not it could stay well on top of stormy and turbulent weather. TWA took maximum advantage of its smooth ride by appointing it with a luxurious cabin. Up to 33 passengers could relax in plush seating. Single chairs were featured on one side, while spacious 3-across bench-like seats could be converted into sleeping quarters on the other. There were even separate men's and ladies' restrooms, significantly larger than what we see today on modern jetliners. With a range of 1,200 miles, a coast-to-coast flight could be achieved in 14 hours with just 2 stops along the way. Just below the Stratoliner model is a photograph showing the dedication of TWA's first Stratoliner delivery. The ceremony took place in Washington, D.C. on May 27, 1940. It was quite an event, which brings us to another significant part of the Stratoliner's story. With World War II breaking out in Europe and North Africa, powerful 4-engine aircraft were needed to ferry munitions from the U.S. to Allied troops fighting there. To achieve this, the United States government formed the Air Transport Command. The ATC requisitioned TWA's 5 Stratoliners to help do that job. As you can probably guess, the luxurious passenger interiors were removed to make room for cargo. On your right is a uniform jacket and hat worn by TWA pilots who flew the Stratoliners for the ATC. In addition to the pilots, TWA supplied a crew of mechanics for each airplane. After flying several missions from 1942 through 1944, the planes were returned to TWA and reconverted for domestic U.S. passenger service. At the same time the Stratoliners were returning, TWA was preparing to introduce newer airplanes to its fleet, making the Stratoliner no longer a good fit for its expanding route system. The last Stratoliner was retired from TWA's fleet in 1950. As the war was ending, TWA was preparing to inaugurate its newly acquired rights to fly passengers internationally, starting in 1946. A new era at TWA was dawning. Larger and more powerful airplanes were about to fly new long-range domestic and international routes. The airline industry and the world continued to change quickly, and TWA was changing with it.